Hi, everybody. Welcome to Katie in the Morning. I'm Katie Page, Director of Member Relations at the National Association of Healthcare Assistants. We talk about welcoming new employees a lot on Katie in the Morning, different types of things you can do to make them feel welcome, different tips you can do while you're orientating them, while they're training, and then tips that you can do transitioning them to the floor so that they're on their own. But one thing I wanted to point out today is the welcoming phase for new residents. It's something that we often don't think about. Sometimes we don't even know we have a new resident until 15 minutes into our shift. But I want to bring some tips to you guys today on welcoming a new resident and building that trust, that mutual relationship in the first 24 hours. So here we go. The first tip I have for you guys is to even before you get into the introduction part, gather any information that you may need to avoid asking them the same question over and over again. They have been run through the ringer. Majority of the residents come from either a hospital after like a recovery surgery or an illness, or they come from home after they've taken a spill and they've literally been run through the ringer. They've been asked 6 million questions about how did it happen? What is your routine at home? Anything you can think of, they've probably been asked. And then have their room ready to go as much as you possibly can. The last thing we need is for people to be, they're already getting the admission team in there, the social worker, the human resource person, different staff members from different shifts, laundry, dietary, housekeeping, nursing staff, CNAs. Everybody's going in and out of that room in the first day that they're there, asking them questions, getting everything ready. So the best thing that you can do is to avoid those extra trips out of the room to get an ice water pitcher, extra pillows, if the bed's not made, the essentials, toilet paper, soap, lotion, razors. Just make sure that everything is collected and there for them. That way you're not running in and out and in and out, in and out during that day. It's going to cut down on a lot of their confusion and give them the time that they need to rest after coming into a new setting. We all know how it is to travel. You get to the hotel or to a loved one's place and you bring everything in out of the car and get it unpacked and get everybody settled and use the bathroom. And by the time you get settled in for the night, you're exhausted. Now add another 30 to 40 years on that, on your age. And you are just overwhelmed and, like I said, exhausted. The second tip I have for you guys when it comes to welcoming a new resident is first impressions are lasting impressions. Knock and wait to be asked to come in. Introduce yourself, your position, and let them know that you are there to help. Maintain eye contact and smile, and always make sure to ask if there's anything else that you can help them with before you leave the room. This in itself, it's a really simple step, but it shows them what kind of a person you are off the bat, that you're not aggressing towards them, that you're very open to them, that you're there to help them. In any way that you can. This especially is very important in Alzheimer's and dementia units. Maintaining that eye contact, keeping that kind of monotone, low voice, not coming off as aggressive, not telling them what to do, but asking them what they would normally do if they were in a home setting. Like I said, this is a big piece of the first 24 hours in building that trusting relationship between you and the dependent person that you're taking care of. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to go over just a few more tips.
CNAs start here at NACACNA.org. If you are a certified nursing assistant, NACA is right here for you.
It's something I totally believe in. I believe every CNA deserves to be part of this organization because it just makes you feel amazing and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
NACA to me is that entity that I think all CNAs need to be involved in. It gives you so much pride and joy to know that you're with an association that cares about you and what you do and what you represent.
I'm a member of NACA because of what it represents, taking care of elders, coming together as a team, and just the encouragement it gives the CNAs.
I feel like NACA is an organization that helps me grow personally in my profession that I would have never known or been able to have done without them.
Your CNA membership with the National Association of Healthcare Assistants is just a few clicks away. For as little as $5.83 per month, your journey begins. The benefits are amazing. NACA provides you with the opportunity and support to be the most educated, recognized, and inspired CNA in America today. We believe that together, every CNA can achieve more than what any of us can accomplish on our own. Take that first step to advance yourself as a professional working with other CNAs who are committed to quality and professionalism. If you need more information, call 417-623-6049.
Welcome back to Katie in the Morning. Today we're talking about different ways that you can implement to welcome a resident into their new home and make them feel comfortable and build that trusting relationship in the first 24 hours. So we kind of talked about gathering information before you even meet the resident, and we also talked about the initial meeting, having everything ready to go and just eliminating all that excess stuff that doesn't really need to be in the way. So now we're going to talk about following through on everything that you have said. This is it. The first 24 hours is crucial to building a sense of comfort and trust. Check back with them throughout your shift to make sure that they are okay and that there's anything needed at all. Make sure to give an extended report to the oncoming shift and communicate everything and anything that you can about this resident. And go with the next shift to say, see you later, and introduce the CNA that's coming on. In your 8, your 12, your 16-hour shift, they're going to start to get to know you. They're going to, majority, unless they have some kind of a memory impairment, they may even know you by your first name by the time you leave. So they're going to feel trusting towards you. So introducing them to the oncoming shift is kind of your way of passing that trusting relationship that you built with them in the first day on to the next person. Tell them a little bit about the persons, walk in the room, say, hey, George, I'm taking off for the night, but Sheila's taking over for me. She's been a CNA for 15 years. She's absolutely wonderful. She's got a beautiful smile. You're in really good hands. Just reassure them that the next person that's coming on is just as capable as you are of taking care of them. When it comes to following through, the one thing that you want to avoid is giving specific times that you're going to come back and check on them. So say you take them to the bathroom and you sit them down on their bed, or they're eating their first supper in their room. Make sure that you're not saying, I'll be back in 10 minutes to check on you, because we don't know what is going to happen in those next 10 minutes. Someone could get called off. Someone could get sick and go home, and you could get switch to a different hallway. There could be a CPR emergency that comes up. A nurse could come ask you to escort a resident to a doctor's appointment. We all know that happens last minute. The dryer could break down and they could need someone to cover a certain section, so that person could go cover a section who can cover the maintenance man. I mean, we really don't know what is going to happen any day of the week, any time of the day. So make sure that you're not making promises that you can't fulfill. Also, one thing that you want to check and make sure, this is something that I see happen so many times, is make sure that those dietary orders are in and through before mealtime. I cannot tell you how many times we've had this experience where a new resident comes in and we go to pick up their tray and dietary says they can't give them anything because they don't know what their orders are. So as a CNA and as an ambassador for the residents, as an advocate for the residents, it's part of our job to make sure that everything's kind of in line and ready to go. You can ask the team, that would be the admissions team, the charge nurse, the med aid, and yourself, if there's some sort of a standard checklist that you can go off when a new resident comes in, whether it is checking in their personal belongings to make sure nothing gets lost, making sure their clothes are getting labeled, making sure they have all the supplies in their room, making sure their dietary order is put through, making sure that everybody knows, as far as the med aid, the CNA go, what kind of medications they've started that might alter their attitude or the way that they're functioning physically. And also, one of the other things you're definitely going to want to make sure that you know is whether they're diabetic or not, and whether they are a full code or a no code. DNR is another way of putting that. But like I said, you don't know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis. So making sure all those things are in place are definitely going to save you some troubles in the future if something were to occur. Just make sure that you have that smile on your face. Make sure you're showing them who you are as a professional and as a person, and establishing that trust in the first 24 hours is going to go off without a hitch. I thank you guys all for joining me today, and I will see you right back here tomorrow for Katie in the Morning.